Hello everyone, this is Eagle. So today we are going to talk about the 84th Guard Strelkovy. So as the game mentions here, the 84th Guard Strelkovy participated in Operation Bagration and specifically on the attack on Orsha. This division encountered a heavy fight and a brutal house-to-house combat in order to clear the town of Orsha. It is also mentioned here by the game that this division is an assault formation that fields the Sabiri heavy engineer squads, and it also have the KV-8S, which is a flamethrower variant of the KV-1S, and it fields the IS-2 model 1943 and model 1944, one of the best heavy tanks in the game, and it is supported by the IL-2 37 ground attack plane, which is basically can be used as a tank buster. So that is all what is mentioned here by the game about this division. I did research of my own to see how accurate the information provided about this division. So basically the 84th Guards Rifle Division was actually reformed from the 110th Rifle Division in 1943. And there is an interesting fact about this division, that it was actually part of the 11th Guards Army along with the 26th Rifle Division. Both of them were actually in the same sector attacking Orsha as part of Operation Bagration. However, I couldn't find any evidence that says that the 84th Division had IS-2 tanks. But it's worth to mention that the 5th Guards Tanks Army was actually supporting the 11th Army on the 3rd Belarusian front. So it might be possible that the IS-2s were built to support the 84th Division. However, I couldn't find, as I said, a historical evidence that support this. One more thing about the 84th Division, that it is actually an infantry division, and it is even mentioned here by Eugene that it is an infantry division or rifle division. However, it's actually described here as a mechanized division in the type of the division, so this is a mistake by the game. Other than this, most of the other informations were accurate regarding attacking Orsha and participation in Operation Bagration. So let's actually move on and see how did we build this division. So everyone, this is the 84th Guard Strelkovy. As we can see, we have lots of different units in this division. Let's start with the recon tab. So pretty standard tab. The only thing here that I choose was the Sniperi, and I coupled this with the WC-52 Doshka to increase my recon units. And then I moved to the infantry tab, which is also pretty standard tab, except for one unit which we should really talk about a little bit more, which is the Sabiri Rocks. So the Sabiri Rocks is actually pretty good infantry unit. It has a strength of 12, and it is very good in close combat because it has the BB-SH-41, and it has a flamethrower that backs this unit up in close combat. On top of that, it actually performs very well in also long range because it has the DB-28, and it has the semi-automatic rifles as well, 5 semi-automatic rifles. So I like this unit very much. It's more of a multi-role unit that can actually perform in all situations. Other than this, Sabiri Rocks, it is normal standard units. So I added one card of Automatiki in phase A and 2 units of Gvardia in phase A to increase the long range units. And then I added this disheartened troops in phase B, and this is the maximum you can get out of these troops, just to increase the numbers of infantry in this division. And we have only one card of Sabiris, so I added one card of these in phase B, and I added another card of Sabiri Rocks which is also one card in this division. Then I added Strelkovy, which unit of strength of 20, and it is actually a penal unit, as we spoke about this before. And then one card of the Gvard DB. This allowed me actually to take a big number of infantry in this division, if you set it up this way. I didn't add a commander because I will add it later in the artillery tab. So let's move to the tank tab, and we don't have so many choices here. We have the IS-2 model 1943 and model 1944. Both of these tanks are pretty expensive, and the other choice is to have the T-34E. So I took one card of these, and then I took one card of IS-2 Komroti in phase A, and one card of the IS-2 43 in phase B. I didn't take the model 44. I think it would be too much for a 1 versus 1 game, especially that in 1 versus 1 game you don't have that luxury to bring pretty expensive units. But I would say this division will work really good in a 10 versus 10 setup because of such tanks. Anyway, moving to the support tab, we also have some good choices here. So we do have the flamethrower teams, and I added both of them in phase A. I added one card of the SG-43 machine gun, and also one card of the support guns, OB-25 76mm. And we do have the KV-8S here, which is actually really good because it has the flamethrower in it, and it does have a good gun that can have penetration up to 75mm. But most importantly about this unit is that it is very cheap. It costs only 45 per unit, and it has frontal armor of 95mm. And with the tanks are being pretty expensive in this division, this is a good choice to always have some cheap tanks that can support the infantry on urgent basis. So that's why I chose one card of these in phase B. The anti-tank tab, I choose the Panzerschreck team, and we don't usually have Panzerschreck teams in Soviet divisions, but in this case I decided to choose this because it's pretty effective. I think it's more effective than the BTRS team. So I took one card of these, and also I took one card of the M42 45mm in phase A, and another card of 76mm in phase A. And then I took one card of the Su-76M in phase B, which is basically a tank destroyer. And then I added one more card of ZIS-3 76mm. In anti-air tab, we do have lots of good choices here and lots of varieties. In my case, I choose to take the 85mm in phase A, and also another card in phase B. And then I added 37mm anti-air gun in phase B. I didn't take the SU-M17 because of the low range, but I think it's pretty good anti-air unit. But I always prefer units that can have longer ranges. In the artillery tab, I took mortar of 120mm, and of course a leader card because I didn't add this in the infantry division. And I always go for the mobile artillery because I feel it's more resilient. You can move it the way you like and avoid counter battery. So I took one card of these, but I also took one card of long range stationary artillery, which is 122mm howitzer actually. It has a rate of fire 4 rounds per minute, so it's pretty good artillery, and it has good accuracy as well as good damage. And of course I added one card of the off-map artillery. Someone might choose also the Katyusha, but in my case I couldn't find the slots to add it. Anyway, moving to the air tab, I choose to take the Yak 1B, which is a good fighter in phase A. I also added the Yak 1B light bomber, which can be used as well as a fighter, so we have total of 5 fighters here. And I added more bombers, so BE3 BIS in phase B. And I decided to choose the IL-237 light bomber because it can be used as a light bomber and it can be used as a tank buster as well. So I prefer to use this one over the normal IL-237 because I like to hit 2 birds with 1 stone basically. So that's how I configured this division, and I think that with this configuration it can perform very well in a battle. So let's jump in and see actually the next game, because that game was pretty interesting. So everyone, this is the game. I'm playing with the 84th Guards Strelkovy, and my opponent is called Jubjub. And I'm playing on the left side this time using blue color, and my opponent is playing with red color, and we both started deploying our units, as we can see here on the map, deploying lots of units. And I also started with the 85mm, and I also started here with an IS-2 Komroti, the only IS-2 that I have in phase A. On the other side, my opponent, which I believe plays the 9th Guard division, started with Shermans and also support gun. And the game starts. He is indeed playing with the 9th Guard Cavalry Division. And I remember that I mentioned that this division is not that good before, and it only works with spam, especially if you are planning to spam Shermans. And I believe that's my opponent, that's what he did during this game. He's actually playing Maverick, and I am playing as Balanced. So I believe that he's going to rely heavily on the spam techniques. In this side, I tried to advance fast. So far, both of us are 12 to 12. He has lots of Sabiris in this side. I was able to move my units to these forests. I'm trying to target his units here using my Yak 1B, which did not do much damage. Trying to clear the forest in the south. He's advancing a Sherman, also called as MK in the Soviet. I only have one flamethrower team here, so he's moving Kazakis toward this town. The center fight still going on, and I'm trying to actually control this road using the 85mm and the IS-2 Komroti. He tried to advance the Sherman here, but the 76 millimeter was able to push it back, or he chose to withdraw to avoid being destroyed by the anti-tank. He started right away deploying Tupolov's heavy bombers, which I believe going to make a big difference for him. Yeah, so he was able finally to clear my units here. I have 13 flag and he has 11, but he has actually more troops on the ground. And as I said, this division is not that good. It's only good in spamming. So let's see what the Shermans can do. It will be very interesting if we can see lots of Shermans against the IS-2s. Some fight in the middle. He tries to take this side. Here he tries to maneuver with the Sherman, and he was able to destroy some of my advancing infantry. However, the 85 millimeter is firing at the Sherman, and his Sherman is gone. His first Sherman is gone. He was not able to clear my units from here, from this side, in the middle. However, he is harassing me using this 76 millimeter. The location of this 85 millimeter is actually pretty good. Let's see if we can destroy this gun. Yes, and we were able to take that gun down. But he's pushing lots of Kazakis, and he has a leader as well. For some reason this IS-2 is not well positioned also. Most of the fighting is happening on the south, actually. And he was finally able to clear my units from this side, on this forest. In the middle, some clashing going around, but nothing is final. He is now trying to push to take this town, and it only has one team of flamethrowers, so I don't think it will hold against all this number of Kazakis. So as I said, this division is good in spamming Kazakis and Shermans. Another Sherman coming. Okay, he is about to lose it as well. Yes, Sherman is lost. He is putting a gun here to be able to actually hunt any units coming from this side. And he was able to clear the town. Lots of spamming. He's playing Maverick also, so that he has a good advantage in phase A and especially in phase B. So let's see. He put lots of units in this city. In the north. In the center I'm pushing slowly. In the south, most of the fighting happening there. Trying to keep control of this flag. And he deploys a 122mm artillery gun. Which is a good gun. And I think he's targeting the 85mm anti-air. Again, he's using the Tupolev, targeting my infantry, of course. Yeah, big loss. Still 12 flag to 12 flag. And now I started to deploy my mobile artillery to counter the his 122mm. I'm also trying to move slowly here, but nothing successful so far. It's worth to mention that he doesn't have anti-air in this side. Most of his anti-air is concentrated in this area, which allows me to attack him here. His effort is mainly focusing on the southern front. He's trying to push hard here. Let's see if he can succeed. Okay, pushing two tanks here. One is a T-34 and the other one is a Sherman. In the middle also he's pushing two tanks. And I was able to reach this flag. But he's pushing a large number of infantry. Here also he has large number of concentrated infantry. My artillery started firing, targeting his 122mm. This Tupolev 2S is really bothering me. I should find a solution for this. He has now 13 flag and I have 11. He's in phase B. though, and that is the best advantage of the Maverick. The north, I'm trying to take back this city, but it sounds like a difficult job. He's using the BTRD to fire on my T-34. So fighting now is in all fronts. I'm trying also to push in the center as much as I can. And in the south, I'm trying to hold because he's doing a big push here. He has 2 tanks as well. I have an anti-tank gun here, which is ambushing his tank. Hopefully I can fire on this one. Yes. And he loses the tank, that is good. Here he's trying to push the Sherman from the side. And I have lost my infantry here, but I still have my T-34. So I'm bringing more, trying to clear that flag. He started deploying fighters now, LA-7s. We're still firing on his artillery, which he's about to lose actually. So I decided to move my eyes to a little bit to counter the Sherman. And he's sending another Sherman here to counter the T-34E. Yes, the Sherman against the IS-2. Sherman still standing. He is now trying to back this Sherman. Now the Sabiri rocks, which I pushed here, are trying to encircle his units. Deploying a bomber to take down this Kazaki, which was a success. (12 to 12). 15 minutes, phase B. So that's his main advantage, which he should use properly. Another 2 Shermans coming. So lots of Shermans now are going to the ground. Sherman spam. He's deploying the LA-7, trying to destroy this. I think he's gonna succeed. Yes. So now I'm gonna fire on his T-34. And he backed down a lot right away. Yes, the IS-2 here is destroying lots of Shermans. I'm still having my T-34 here. He lost most of his units here, but he has a Sherman coming. I like this game. It's actually moving on all fronts, which is something we don't usually see. The amount of spam that the Night Guard can do is actually amazing. But as I said before, it's not that good division if you don't play spam. Okay, so 3 tanks here. And then there is another T-70 Razvitka coming. He started now deploying anti-air in this side. And I'm trying to destroy the Sherman using the BT RD here, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. And still my Sherman here, my IS-2 here is standing. So the attack on these tanks were not successful thanks to the anti-air. I have 13 flag now, and that's because I was able to take this flag, but he's pushing more troops. This is getting more interesting now. 14 flag to 10, and we are almost entering phase C now. I'm trying to fire everything that I have on these Shermans, but his anti-air is good. He's also firing everything that he has here. So far I still haven't used my fighters. Sabiri rocks. So he's trying to move forward here and in this side as well. He lost some tanks here thanks to the T-34E, but he still have one Sherman and one T-70 Razvitka. He lost his artillery as well, and now I'm targeting his anti-air actually. We are now in phase C, and that will decrease his capability actually to attack or to spam more units. He's relying heavily in these TU-2S, and I seem that I don't have enough anti-air to counter these. So that's why I started deploying more anti-air now. Yeah, he was able to destroy the Sabiri rocks. And we were finally able to destroy the Sherman here. But he's pushing more Kazakis. This game is going back and forth, which is something cool. Most of the fighting, or the heavy fighting, is happening on the south. Wow, look at these Kazakis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's pushing 6 infantry units to the center. Wow, that's bad to lose at this point. He lost 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles. He lost half of his units so far. Wow. So thanks to these units, we were able... Oh, he lost another vehicle. Thanks to the 85mm and the Ice to Kumroti, which is guarding this road, I was able to destroy lots of his units, lots of his advancing units. But still, jubjub attack is going well on this side. And I finally lost the anti-air here. And I have no air superiority now. So the Yak 1B, come on, very bad turn, a very strange turn that happens in this game. Anyway, we will try to target the TU2S using the Yak 1B. Let's see if we will be able to do something. Oh, come on, yeah. So he lost the TU1S. At least that is something good. Okay, we destroyed the Sherman using the Panzerschreck team. But his advance here is going very hard. Lots of Kazakhs, lots of Shermans coming. That is the Sherman spam that I'm talking about. So he has 15 flag and I have only 9. One, two, three. He has 3 Shermans and lots of Kazakhs. I'm wondering. Yeah, he's spamming the Kazakhi Mosin, which is basically the cheapest infantry in this division. So as I said, this division has the capability to do good spam. But I am also spamming Su-76 tank destroyers, trying to counter this spam. He's pushing 2 more TU2S to Tupolovs. Things are going back and forth. So I lost one of the tank destroyers here. I'm about to lose the second. Yes, thanks to his heavy bombers. And he's pushing forward more infantry. Trying to target his anti-air using the artillery. 15 flag to jubjub, 9 to me. Things are stable on these 2 fronts, center and north. So 3 Shermans. And lots of Kazakhi Mosin. Typical spam. He's also trying to advance his anti-air to support his advancing units, which is a good thing. So good advance in the south. In the center also I'm trying to do another push, but he is using the heavy bombers, the Tu-2S, which is still I'm not able to get rid of. Now advancing another ice to 1943, trying to maybe counter these Sherman tanks. And I was able to destroy one of his anti-air. Okay, trying to destroy the Sherman using the IL-2, but that was a failure. I lost all of my units in this side thanks to this spam. He pushes an LA7 and destroys the IL-2. I'm pushing Ayak 1B, but the LA7 is pretty fast. It's faster than the Ayak 1B. I even lost the Ayak 1B. Anyway, advancing the IS-2, trying to get rid of these Shermans, and he's now moving anti-tanks as well as an anti-air, trying to put a foothold in this location. I have 10 minutes to drive him away from this side, otherwise I will lose the game. And that's how dangerous the spam in this game is. But let's see if I will be able to drive him back or this is lost. The LA7 is pretty fast. I lost lots of planes thanks to the LA7. So I think I need to build more anti-air. Now large spam of Tupolev 2S coming toward my infantry. And I push two Yak 1Bs. Let's see if we can destroy something. I hope we can. Oh, come on. Wow. Wow. These heavy bombers are pretty strong. I mean, the Yak 1Bs were right behind them, and I lost both of them also thanks to the anti-air. This is crazy. This is incredible. I can't believe this. Anyway, the bombers were able actually to suppress the IL-2, but I am trying to the IS-2, sorry, but I'm trying to destroy the tanks using the IL-2, but again he has good anti-air in this side. In this area, I used the fact that he's pushing hard on the south to push hard on the center. But still, he has 15 flag and I have 9. Three Shermans, lots of infantry. Another IS-2. Now I'm deploying all the IS-2s. And I'm also trying to destroy the anti-air to be able to hunt his tanks and infantry. He's targeting the IS-2, I believe. Okay, he did not realize that I have two IS-2s deployed already. Okay, losing two Shermans. No, these Shermans will not be able to destroy the IS-2, and he also got away from his anti-air umbrella. So he lost all of his tanks now, and this is a chance to advance. But lots of 57 millimeters are coming to counter the IS-2. In this side, trying to push, but lots of infantry and tanks are taking place. He's trying to attack the IS-2 with the 14mm anti-tank gun. But the only thing it does that it actually delays the tank. Pushing now more infantry. Trying to compensate this and push forward. It's worth to mention that I haven't lost any of my IS-2s in this game until now. Two more Shermans here, pushing the IS-2 to counter. And another IS-2 coming here. This is basically all the IS-2s that I have in my division. Okay, pretty close to take this flag. Okay, here is the Zis 257mm now is trying to attack the IS-2. The best thing is to pull the tank back, otherwise it will be a problem. We still have effective anti-air in this side. Okay, more to pull off spam. He destroys the anti-air. Flag to 10. Two IS-2s in the center, two IS-2s in the south. But there are two heavy anti-tank guns firing on the IS-2s here. I'm trying to push my infantry to take this gun down. Putting more anti-air. More Shermans are coming. He's really holding into this ground very good, and he doesn't want to leave. He lost one of his Shermans here, I believe thanks to the ice too. No proper anti-air though in this area, but he has the LA7, which is pretty fast. But I have deployed good anti-air so far. I still have my IS-2s intact. Pushing now Strafniki, which are heavy units basically, and they can take down the Kazaki Mosin even if there are lots of numbers from these. "15 flag to 9, I have less than 2 minutes to finalize this, otherwise the game is almost lost, thanks to the spam of the 9th Guard Cavalry. I have spammed lots of anti-air now on this side. 3 anti-air. Also pushing lots of KV-8S. So spam versus spam, let's see. Pretty interesting game. I moved the 2 IS-2s here, trying to support this flag to give me a chance to stay in the game. This is very interesting. Time left is very close. Okay, this 57mm is hunting the KV-8S here. I think it can wipe the KV-8S. 3 tanks, but I don't know if they can make a difference. Yeah. But basically I'm taking them as a cover for the IS-2. I'm using them as a cover to advance. Let's see if we can. He also bought another 57mm here to destroy the IS-2s. He lost the Sherman. Those IS-2s are pretty good. More Tubulovs coming, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Tubulovs. But he loses the he loses the 57mm and I still have the IS-2s intact. Also here he lost the 57mm, and now it's 13 flag to 11. I am able to clear all the anti-air in this side. I have a short window to advance here, otherwise, but we have lots of Shermans, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this side. Anyway, advancing 2 IS-2s to take care of this. He loses the first Sherman. Fighting is heavy on the south and on the center as well. Only 48 seconds. Very close. This is very close, and it's 12 to 12. Oh my god, this in the last seconds of the game I am able to regain back the flags and advance from the southern front, and the road is clear, destroying 4 Shermans. More Shermans are coming, but I don't know if he will be able to regain control now. On the center, this 2 was not able to do any difference against the IS-2s. And I have lots of advancing units. So 12 flag to 12. And he decides to leave. I think he realized that he cannot move forward because he lost control on the southern front, and only on the last seconds of the game. This was really interesting game. He had higher kills though, 3,900, and I had 3,800, which is pretty close. The problem was with the spam. There was lots of Sherman spams and lots of infantry spam as well, which is something I find it okay, considering the fact that I was able to regain control at the last seconds of the game. Anyway, let's look at the kills. Of course, Shermans will be doing Shermans and the Tupolovs. To be honest, they did lots of good work. So his kills: 1 Sherman destroying lots of units, Kazakis, T-34s. This LA-7 really did good job countering my fighters. It is pretty fast plane fighter. This Sherman also destroyed lots of tanks. And these Tupolovs also, they did good job even trying to suppress the IS-2. The ZIS-2 also destroyed lots of KV-8S. Let's see here, the IS-2 was the hero of this game, destroying lots of tanks and equipment. IS-2 Komroti, of course, was guarding the road in the center. The Zen Art 85mm was able to destroy lots of Kazakis and lots of tanks. Also, I believe this was in the center. The Yak-1B though did a really good job, considering the fact it's a light bomber. Other than this, mostly sounds okay. The T-34E destroyed 2 tanks on his side. Strafniki also did really great job trying to suppress all this spam of the Kazaki Mosin. And the IS-2s really, this is the first time I used the IS-2s to their maximum potential in this game. So I think this was really interesting and fun game, destroying lots of tanks using the IS-2s. So other than this, I think the game was really fun and enjoyable. It was also a good example to showcase the 84th Guards. Thanks everybody for watching, and see you in future games.